Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Adrian from Adrian's Awesome Accumulation, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Arcanadea Lumitea model kit from Kotobukiya, which you guys see before you. But before we do that, as always, let's take a look at the box because this box has cool artwork. All right, so, or maybe that's too close up. Let's back this up a little bit. All right, so here we can see, like, let me show you the side view. Anyways, like this box art is pretty cool. You got her name right here, Lumitea, and like kind of like this nice like gold lettering, so that's pretty neat. And then the artwork is just phenomenal in this box, you know. So like if there's like if you don't have no room for boxes, I just suggest like cutting this piece out and like framing it or something, or just having it as like a cool little artwork piece because it looks really nice. I mean, look at that. I mean, they went all out. It's like an illustration. You got like doves, her sitting right there, nice gold trim right here. Pretty cool artwork. And that's not all, but like it has also different artwork on the side of the box, like on the bottom right here. You know, like with her sword and stuff. That's pretty neat. And at the very top, you have another one right here. So that's cool. Very nice artwork right there. And on the side right here, we got, the face plates that she comes with. She got like a smiling face, kind of like angry looking to the side kind of face, happy face, and then her eyes closed with the smiling face right there. And there's a picture of the unpainted model kit right there. And on the other side, we got some, different product shots right here. We got her in her armor mode and then unarmored right there. And then kind of the few poses you can get her in. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. Let's put this to the side. And let's look at the model kit once again. All right, let's get closer. Let me see. All right, so in here we have the model kit, and this is a very cool model kit. I mean, it's very, very detailed, as you guys can see just right here. I mean, just look at her like armor. I mean, it's very, very detailed. See, like these like gold trims right here, I kind of painted. They were all white, which is, it looks cool, but like, with a little bit of color in the gold, it looks neat. And of course, mine is coming off. I painted it, but it's like handling her. It's like, it's been coming off, but it still looks pretty good. And yeah, just look at the amount of detail right here on her, like armor pieces under her, and that came off. But yeah, and then the wings look really nice too. I mean, look at that. Really, really cool. And then the back, of her skirt right there. This is like a couple of different pieces. Like this is one, it's two, and then three, and then the bow right here is actually four. So that's pretty neat. And then looking at her leg armor, I mean, yeah, look at that. It's just super detailed. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So let me take her off the stand here. And then another cool thing about this mount kit is that it actually does come with the stand, and it's a pretty good stand. Really sturdy. It's not like those cheap ones. Sometimes they come with cheap ones where it's just like connected with a little ball joint right here at the bottom, and it kind of like moves around, and it's just like a little stick, and it's kind of flimsy. Those are kind of crap, but this is actually a pretty good one. So there's that. So here we have the Lumitea, and you get pretty good range of motion from her. Her arms with all this like armor stuff come up like this wide, so that's pretty high. And then they do turn all around. Of course, it would go all the way back, but it's hampered by the wing right here. But and then we got good range for when she bends at her elbows. And then from the torso right here, she can move side to side, look back that far, go down that, look down that much. Her head, look up that high, look down that far, turn, head swivel, all that good stuff. Her legs do come up like right there, but you can kind of move these little like the front skirts up, and then the little side skirt right here. These are the only ones there too. You can move that higher, so she can kick, kind of, you know, almost kind of like 90 degrees right there. So that's pretty good. The splits, you know, not that much because she is, you know, stopped by these things and also her like wing armor right here on her legs. So there's that. But overall pretty good range of motion. You can get her doing some cool like let me put on this hand that fell off. It's pretty cool stuff. You can get her boxing. No, right there. You could kind of get her like in like shielding herself. And what's cool about this is that you can use her wing for that too. And then I kind of have this one up here, kind of like she's kind of flying. Right? Move that up a little. So yeah, that's pretty neat. And then of course a variety of different, like flying poses. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is like with this face, it's perfect for like, she's like looking back or something like that. Right? So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much like kind of like the poses you can get in the range of motion. And I'll be right back and I'll show you her accessories. All right. All right, you guys, I'm back and here she is with everything she comes with. As you guys can see, it's quite a few things. So let's get started. All right, so here we have her sword. And this sword looks pretty cool. I mean, just look at it. It looks pretty neat. So this, like, the handle piece, all the way up here to like this little like teal gem, was all gold. So I did paint it. It was kind of like this bronze gold, but I put like my own little like gold right there to make it more shiny. But the handle was all gold. I painted that black, and then everything that's kind of like teal or greenish color, I painted also. So there's that. But yeah, just the detail on the sword looks pretty cool. I was gonna paint the blade like silverish, but I thought it looked more heavenly white, so I kept it white. But yeah, so there's the sword. Looks really nice. Like all the detail on it. Cool. All right, and we have this little crown right here. This is basically for her unarmored mode, and it kind of just sits on her head. I mean, it doesn't slot in anywhere or anything like that, so it just sits on her head. So like once you have her in a cool pose and you want this thing on her, just put this on her head and don't move it, because if you do, it's gonna fall off. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So this was all white. I painted this little like ornament right here, gold and teal, and then these little dots right there, and then kind of like the little trim right here on the bottom. So there's that. And then she comes with two little like head wing pieces. So like this is if you want to remove these parts right here on her head, if you don't want them as big. And this is basically for the unarmored mode. You just take those off and put these in. And then we got different faces. Again right here, we got a happy face kind of looking off to the left side right here. And then we have a happy face that's just looking straight. And the print quality in these is really good. The faces look nice on these Arcanadea kits. Then of course we got the angry faces, which one is the one I had when I started the video. This one looks nice. And then we got, see, the one that I have on her right now, which is this like her eyes closed and smiling face. So there's that. Then have these two wing parts right here. Again, this was all white. I kind of painted the trim gold, but these are the pieces that kind of go back on her. This is where like the wings attach. You guys can see over here. So like these are different pieces. This is for the unarmored mode right now. I have these ones on, which these are the armored mode ones, and the wings kind of just slot into like the back right there. So of course I want the wings, so I have those on. But you do got these ones if you want her unarmored and just have like small little like very cupid wings, I guess. And then we have her sheath right here. which is pretty cool. But I wish like it attached to like her side or something like that, but it doesn't. It comes with this piece right here, and what you do is you just and like slot this in right there, and then she's supposed to grab this piece, right? She's supposed to grab this piece, and you put the sword in here, like so, and then she's just supposed to grab this and then grab her sword. But that's kind of like, I guess it's cool, but it's kind of dumb, right? I mean, I just wish it like, I had some kind of like little peg attachment. I guess you can modify it to do that, where it just like sits like on her waist and stuff, and then you could just put the sword in there. I think that would have been so much better. I don't know why they didn't do that, but that would have been so much cooler. And we got these different cufflinks right here for the unarmored mode again, if you want to use those. And we got a different pair of legs, unarmored mode legs. You just take these off at the thigh right there, these gauntlet ones, and put these on. But these are so simple, and these are so much cooler right there. So that's why I have those on. And for her hands, you got grabbing hands. You have praying hands, which are smushed together, so that's pretty cool. I've never seen different. I had never seen hands like these, so that's pretty cool. And they have like this different option right there. Then we got, slightly open hands right here. We got wide open hands right here. Then you got grabbing hands that double as pointing hands right here. That's pretty neat. And then you got these little like floral or armbands right here. Let's see. Which is for the unarmored mode again. If you want to take off these like little armor ones that she has right here, you take those off and you put these little floral ones, and there's that. So those are the accessories, and I'll be right back to show you off a few poses. See you on pose 1, Clumsy Valkyrie. Pose 2, Lord, hear my prayer. Pose 3, Cheerful Valkyrie. Pose 4, Rallying the Troops. Pose 5, Charge. All right, you guys, so there's the review for the Arcanadea Lumitea done and complete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. And if you guys did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless and bye.